Hello, everybody. It's Kim from Expressions of the Universe with a live weekly wisdom for November 19th through November 26th. And we are in a full moon coming off of a crazy eclipse, the full beaver moon with partial lunar eclipse in Taurus. The moon moved into Gemini this morning, and she is looking glorious. It's a little cloudy out there right now, and you know I've been posting tons of photos, doing the best I can, going without sleep. And so I thought I would come on here because there were so many questions about the eclipse, and I'm going to do stars and cards for all signs for the week. And let's get started. So the week astrologically looks pretty okay. Unfortunately, I'm looking at my tea sitting there on the counter. I forgot to bring it over here. And so I'm wanting it, but I don't want to get up in case any of you come on. You know what? I think I'm going to get up and get my tea. So if you are joining, I am here. I'm grabbing my tea. I'm hoping that some of you can join. And if you do, I'll pull an extra card just for you. All right. So the astrology for the upcoming week looks pretty good. We're coming off of a lot of intense energy. Tomorrow, Saturday, November 20th, depending on where you are, looks really jovial. We could be overthinking things, feeling so energetic, really good. We have Mercury squaring Jupiter, so we could feel a little invincible tomorrow. So really be cautious, because we are still in the full moon energy. The cards that I have for the week, now I posted the goddess of this week today, Freya, the goddess of Friday, the goddess of war, the goddess of radical acceptance. So go ahead and check that out on Facebook and Instagram, because I felt really good channeling that information today. So I know none of you are here right now, but this will become the weekly wisdom video that I'll post on YouTube. So if you didn't make it, you can always watch the replay. And I am pulling cards for all zodiac signs for the week. I missed the Tarot Tuesday live. I just couldn't do it. So booked. But here I am. Here I am. So this coming week, the goddess that I have, it's Metis or Metis. I'm not sure how to properly pronounce her name, but she is the goddess of wisdom. She is card number 35, and what that says to me, it speaks of ascended master, higher divine wisdom, with the ability to make the change for the proper wise decisions. And so there are a lot of lessons coming out of this eclipse. There are a lot of things that have bubbled up emotionally from the eclipse. And so hopefully you're sitting with that. I'd be curious to know what bubbled up for you. I know when I was trying to fall asleep last night, I swear like 40 years worth of crap was coming through my head, and I am not one. You know, I can usually go to sleep right away, but all this stuff, and I'm like, I haven't even thought about this person in like 30 years. Why am I thinking about this person? So this full moon and the eclipse really brought up a lot. Expect that over the next 2 years. A lot's coming up. We're bubbling through. Are we wise enough to have learned our lessons? Do we have to repeat our lessons? And will we be able to take that wisdom and make a wise decision? The crystal of the week is Bixbite, which is really gorgeous. I don't happen to have a piece of Bixbite. However, I have some really beautiful garnets here, which are deep ruby red, and they have a lot of the similar energy. And I also have a piece of vanadinite. I think that, yes, vanadinite. I may not even be saying it properly. Hopefully you can see this. It isn't as rich ruby red as the Bixbite, but it has a lot of the same energy. It is to clear the chakras. It is to open up the sacral, root, and solar plexus chakras. It is to promote our creativity through love and compassion and kindness. And even the garnet is perfect for that. And what I've been finding that's really interesting is that Michael over at Crystal Queer, I seem to be picking the stone that he picked from the previous week. That seems to be a going thing. So yeah, and I keep this piece in a little collector's box because it is expensive and it is rare. So only when I need to use it. So stay tuned. I will channel the messages for these and post them on Facebook and Instagram next week. I have a new deck that I will be pulling cards from. It is the Wild Goddess Oracle. It is by, let's see, who is it by? Amy Zerner and Monty Farber. And I was just enchanted with the artwork of this deck. I'll pull it back. It is absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to pull cards for each astrological sign, each zodiac sign. And then if any of you come on while I'm on here, I'll pull a card for you. Now, I really haven't had the opportunity to fully sit with this deck. So I may or may not use the guidebook. We'll see. And if you've just joined, welcome, welcome, welcome. Say hi. Let me know where you are from. All right, let me just make some room here. We're going to clear the cards. And I'm using the Wild Goddess Oracle. Divination and ritual for living an empowered life. Ooh, this just flew out of the deck. And interesting. It is the past. And so what is the past saying? Make your life a work of art. And your art worthy of life. See the poetry in the mundane, and you will be rewarded beyond measure. And I think that's garnering information and wisdom from the past. And I know it's tough doing a live on a Friday night, unannounced with only 15-minute notice. Noelle, hello. Is that you down there? I didn't see you. Hi. Thank you for joining. So Noelle, I think you have the same birthday as my sister, my youngest sister. She's September 15th, Virgo. Would that be correct? Hi, Melanie. Thank you so much for joining. All the Virgos are joining. I just got out of a really fantastic meeting with a Virgo. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I thought so, Noelle. And so I am pulling cards from the the Wild Goddess Oracle. It's a brand new deck. I just got it. The artwork in this is gorgeous. I'm going to real quick pull a card for each astrological sign, and then I'll pull cards for you. So taking from the top, we have, I should put my light up because I can't really see. The Humorist. So Aries suns, risings, and moons. You have the Humorist, and I don't know this deck, but I would think that she would be bringing out laughter. You have to laugh about it, Aries. And let me look at this card a little bit. And what's nice is there are some keywords on the back. The refreshing joy, exhilaration, and skills learned from creative play and laughter are their own reward and can help solve your problems. I really think that you just have to laugh at yourselves, Aries. Taurus, you have the Detective. So you will be digging deep down in, uncovering some secrets. And I think that that's what is in store for the Tauruses, especially on this full moon lunar eclipse opposing Scorpio. The secrets, you'll be digging through the earth, uncovering some secrets. Geminis, you have the Messenger. And well, isn't that so true, Geminis? Because Geminis are the messenger of the zodiac. So expect the final days of the North Node in Gemini to reveal some secrets as well. Cancers, you have the Mask, literally. And so, ironic in these times, but the Mask talks about being authentic. Are you being your authentic self? Are you wearing a mask in front of people and not being able to be yourself because you're afraid of being judged, or as a form of protection? Take that mask off. Unless you're in public, then keep your mask on. Okay, Leos, you have the Gardener. So it's time for the Leos to tend to the details in their lives, to tend to their own garden. Stop worrying about what's going on in somebody else's garden. Worry about your own. Virgos, and Melanie and Noel, you're both Virgos born within 2 days of each other. I'll pull separate cards for each of you. You have the Grace. And the Grace is talking about holding your own, being nice and calm, trying to get through this earthy time. This Taurus moon is trining your sun, so that's pretty beautiful. I know the energy is intense. And it says, forgive yourself and everyone else in your situation, even if you or they don't deserve it. To forgive is to mirror the divine forces who love us. Libras, you have the Empath. And for Libras, it's time for you to tap into that energy of kindness, compassion, of the emotions. You can't be in that airy Libra mind closing things off. You're going to have to open up a little bit. It says learn to protect your sensitivities, though, and cultivate boundaries to create a safe space in which you and your desires are to be of service and can thrive. Yeah, you got to put those boundaries up. Hi, Angela. Yeah, Noel, isn't that really cool? I thought that was a good card for the Virgos. Angela, you got the Humorist, but I am pulling individual cards for anybody that shows up. The Humorist says you've got to laugh at everything that's going on in your life, and that goes so perfect for the Aries. Scorpio, the Game Changer. So this full moon lunar eclipse opposing the sun in Scorpio, this is time for you to step up and step out. This was a game changer for you. Something pivotal is happening for the Scorpio suns, risings, and moon, and you're going to have to be center stage for the next 18 months coming up very soon. Sagittarians, you have the angel. So we are coming into Sagittarius season very soon. Within the next few days, it will be happy birthday, Sagittarius. And we will be coming into that Candlemas energy, where we light the candles, we keep the light glowing, and we can call upon the angels to bring us some really beautiful divine connection. I love that for the Sages. Capricorns, you have the Priestess. And the Priestess is talking about really tapping into your own intuition, I believe. She's asking you to stand in your sovereignty. And let me see, this just says, be still and know. Listen to your hunches and intuition. See, I was right. I haven't learned these cards yet, but I think I'm picking it up, especially with that moon symbolism. This is saying, you know, pay attention to the signs, pay attention to your intuition. All of us are coming into superpower intuition next year, for sure, especially when Jupiter and Neptune conjunct. Pay attention to your dreams. I've got to tell you that my dreams are off the hook. I'll tell you more about that in a little bit. But it's like I close my eyes and I have to touch my eyelids because I'm seeing things as if like my eyes are wide open. It's really kind of creepy and crazy. Aquarius. This is the Sybil, and I don't know what that is, but that even looks like an Aquarius symbol up there in the corner, which is pretty cool. There's an ibis there. There's a lion symbol, so this is probably talking about standing on your own 2 feet, taking back your power, I would think. That's what I'm feeling. So let's see what the message says. Think twice before sharing what you know with anyone, except those who you know without question are ready to hear it. That's what the Sybil is. But I feel like it is standing on your own 2 feet and taking back your power. Last but not least, is Pisces. Sorry, my mind went blank. And oh, Pisces, this is perfect for you. It's the mermaid. It is the little mermaid. And so I think the mermaid talks about diving deep into your emotions. During a full moon, I would think that you would be very emotional. I know on every full moon, full disclosure, I cry. I always have like one big huge cry. I had a couple today, and I think it's so healthy and good to like really have a good cry and get that out. But the mermaid says, look below the surface. Oh, I said taking a deep dive. Look below the surface of your emotional reactions. Know what is really going on, for things are not always what they seem. That's the mermaid. All right, so yeah, Melanie, yours have been crazy too. I have to tell you, I'll tell you after I pull the cards for you guys. So Noel, I'm going to just do a spread. Noel, I have the hopeful here for you. Look how beautiful she is. I feel like she would be the star in a traditional tarot deck, if I'm not mistaken. Hopes, wishes, dreams, holding on to faith and hope. She's card 16, so I believe that is the star. It says the power of prayer and meditation can wake you up and renew your faith, help you attune to your needs and align with your deepest truths, Noel. Yeah, that's pretty gorgeous. All right, Melanie. So we've got September 15th. Now I'm going to do September 13th. Melanie, I have the drama queen. Oh my gosh. The drama queen, Melanie. Do you have drama going on in your life? Are you being a drama queen? Um, and the drama queen, she has her leopard there with her. So as soon as I see a leopard, I think of my grandmother saying a leopard never changes their spots. So if you've trusted somebody against your better wishes, learn that lesson. This is card 14, and it says some people need a high level of attention to validate their sense of worth. Make sure that you are not that person staging needless plays. And this upcoming North Node in Taurus, South Node in Scorpio is all about self-worth and values. So this is just saying check in with yourself. Make sure you're not the drama queen, because we are coming into a self-worth 18 months starting in December. But it kicked off last night with the full moon in Taurus and that lunar eclipse. It was the opening doorway, the opening portal for the North Node and South Node shift from Gemini Sagittarius into Taurus Scorpio. And Angela, the fiery Aries, let's see what I have for you. You have the gardener. So Angela, this is saying tend to your own, lots of drama in your family. Tend to your own garden, Angela. Worry about your problems. Worry about your immediate things. Don't worry about what someone else is doing in their own garden. Let them do it however they're doing it. You tend to your garden, Angela, and stop worrying about everybody else's. And life will get a lot easier when you do that. Yeah, so Melanie, don't you add fuel to the fire and be the drama queen. So, what I was saying about my dreams have been so lucid that I'm not really sleeping, and I think that's why I'm so tired. But when I was falling asleep last night, I had to even touch my eyelids because it was like I was watching a movie, and I thought, are my eyes like cracked open? It was so weird, but I was really tired, so I couldn't really remember or pay attention to those images. And I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning to take photos of the lunar eclipse. I stayed up until 5 a.m. Then I went back to bed because I had to get up at 7:30 for my day job, and I hit the snooze till 7:45, and I work from home, so that's easy to do. However, probably around 7:30, I was having a dream that, like my family was here, all my family that has passed has crossed over, and then I heard barking, and it sounded like my little Pomeranian that I lost at the beginning of 2019. And I was listening, and I could tell that it was coming from my living room. And it was him saying, because of the lunar eclipse, we were able to come back. And he brought my golden retriever. And then I noticed like my whole family that had passed were all here. And they said that it was because the lunar eclipse thinned the veil so much that they were able to be here for this special moment. And oh my God, I felt so good. I miss my dogs. Even though I have dogs, I miss those two dogs so much. And I think that I'm over it until like a dream like this happens. And then I woke up from the dream, and it turned out that it was one of my other dogs that was barking in the living room. But I swear it sounded like my Pomeranian. And I got really, really sad. As happy as I was waking up from that dream, because I thought I was going to run out into the living room and they would be there. And then reality set in, and that really sucked. And so I posted on here, the reason why I'm talking about that is, you know, Lunar Eclipse Q&A. I posted about not charging your crystals or water during an eclipse, and a lot of people had a lot of questions. And so ancient Hindu practices, ancient Eastern practices, they believe that, you know, because of that shadow and the light being sucked out of the moon, that it's actually like in its detriment. And so therefore those crystals and that water are not being charged. They're actually being drained of their energy. And so there were a couple of, in my medical astrology class, a couple of examples where shamans, Peruvian shamans, had charged water by the moon on an eclipse and then had handed it out, and people have passed away. So also in Indian Hindu tradition, they do not eat or bathe or drink for 3 days when there is a blood moon like we had last night, because of the ultraviolet rays. I don't know, did you guys feel it? Well, when I was out there trying to shoot those photos, my head felt like it was going to explode. Like there was so much pressure in my head. And so I just wanted to answer any questions if anybody had any. And so what's interesting is my golden retriever that had come back this morning, you know, in my dream, she passed on July 27th of 2018, and we had a total lunar eclipse. She passed at the apex in the garden of a stroke, and she had been drinking so much water. It was pretty hot out. It was like in the 90s. And she was out there with me. I was washing my truck, and I had big bowls of water out there for her. So, you know, like I don't think I knew back then that the water would be affected. Like I knew that I shouldn't be charging my crystals, but I didn't realize the water. And I mean, I know that she was 12, but now that I know better, I'm like, oh my God, you know, did that, like, and knowing how my head felt this morning while I was trying to get these pictures, I am grateful that she did pass here at home, because that was one of my biggest fears, is that I would have to put her to sleep. And so I didn't have to do that. She died in the garden from the eclipse. And it was a massive stroke. And then my Pomeranian, for those of you that don't know, so my golden was 12, the Pom was 5. That was his mother to him, and he grieved himself to death and died, you know, a few months later because of her death. And so that was horrible. And I miss my biggie. That's what I used to call him. He was only like 4 pounds, but I called him my biggie. Anyway, let's catch up. You charged yours last night, but re-cleansed them with sage and sunlight today. Yeah, Noelle, I personally would recommend maybe not using those crystals until you have the ability to charge them in the next full moonlight. I would kind of just put them to the side. You know, I did say that, you know, you can maybe even bury them in the earth and let them sit there for a few days, if, you know, as long as it's not selenite, you know, because that can't get wet, or traditional cleansing. But personally, I would put them to the side. Good that you cleanse them with the sage and everything, but I would put them to the side and then just bring them out on the next full moon. Don't do it on this upcoming new moon, because then we're in another eclipse. That's just, you know, my thoughts personally. And, you know, there are a lot of articles as to why you don't, because that eclipse, that shadow, it actually drains, it dirties. Well, the Hindus, they believe it poisons everything. So one of their beliefs is, I mean, and this is the reason why they don't eat, they fast for 3 days, because the moon controls the tides. It controls the water. And then there are these ultraviolet rays, these powerful lunar eclipse rays that are coming down during that time. We are made up of 60% roughly water. Most of the food that we eat is made up of water, and then of course our drinks and everything. And they believed that because of that pull and the draining of the life force from things that are water based, they just spend that time sleeping, resting, praying, and really being deep down in their body and staying in meditation. Now, I did have coffee when I woke up, which was close to 8 o'clock. So the eclipse had passed here, and I didn't shower until 11. Like, I waited a little. I mean, you know, I have to have my coffee. I have to eat. I have to drink. And then I felt bad allowing my dogs to drink. Yeah, you know what? That's fine. I'm not judging you, Noelle, at all. In no way, shape, or form. I'm just trying to inform people. Melanie, my head felt weird today and my ears are ringing like crazy the past 2 days. Yeah, I feel better now than I did earlier, but I know I'm going to sleep hard tonight and I still kind of have that pressure in my head, and it's not a headache or it's not sinus. It's something completely different. I feel really drained of energy, yet super energized at the same time, if that makes sense. What else did I want to say about the eclipse? I guess that's about it. Any questions before I bid you a good weekend? I'm going to convert this into a link. You're so welcome. You are so welcome. I'm going to convert this into a link. I'll put that into YouTube. Vanita! Hello, Vanita! How are you? I was just going to wrap it up. We were talking, I was doing like some lunar eclipse Q&A. We were talking about charging, not charging our crystals in water in this lunar eclipse moonlight. I was telling a couple personal stories. I pulled cards for every astrological sign and for whoever was showing up. So I'm looking at the moon. It's so gorgeous. Well, you know, Vanita, the moon's in Gemini right now, just so you know. I think it's at maybe 2 or 3 degrees at this point. So I'm using a new deck, Vanita, and I don't fully know it, but it is called the Wild Goddess Oracle, and they are gorgeous cards. You can go back, and when I post this on YouTube or even on here on Facebook, you could go back and see it. For Geminis, the card was the Messenger. So Vanita is a fellow Gemini. All right, Vanita, let me pull a card for you, girl. You have the Peacemaker, and it is card number 22, Master number 22, which equals a 4. So that talks about creativity, finding your place of belonging. The Peacemaker, are you having to bring people together? I love how you can remember everybody's sign. I don't, you know what? Sorry, Vanita. Wait, I'll get to you in a second, Melanie. I'm a Gemini, so my mind is all over the place. I don't know this deck fully, but the Peacemaker says it's time to make peace. You will get much further on your path through kind acts and words than you will forcing things or vengeance. So I don't know if you're having to make peace with somebody, Vanita, or bring some people together in peace, but I feel that's your theme. Yeah, Melanie, since I was a really little girl, I've been able to remember people's birthdays. So I know Vanita is June 9th. Like, I don't know how I remember. I still remember my kindergarten, first, second, third grade classmates' birthdays. I'm still friends with most of them, but I always remember everybody's birthdays. And if I don't, it's probably because we had a past life and we were enemies, maybe. I don't know. I don't know, but I do remember mostly everybody's birthday. And it's weird. So, you know, when I picked up my first astrology book in 1973, I was only 7 years old, and I discovered, oh my gosh, I could figure people out, because I had wondered, like, why are some people nice and why are some people bullies and why are they mean? And then I started reading my mom's astrology book, and I'm like, oh wow, it explained everything. And so I wanted to find out everybody's birthday. I would go around asking everyone when their birthday was, just so that I would know who they were. And that was only based on sun sign, but that's how this all started. 1973, and the rest is history. So I hope you all like that. And this will serve as the weekly wisdom. And just to remind you, the crystal of the week is Bixbyte. The goddess of the week is Metis for wisdom. I didn't have Bixbyte, so I used garnet and vanadinite because they have the same, a lot of the same properties. And I will channel those messages and post them on Facebook and Instagram next week. I thank you all for being here, and have a great weekend. Happy Thanksgiving to those who celebrate. And I guess that's it. Did I get everybody? I just want to make sure. I think I did. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you. Rest well tonight. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. My dogs are out hunting something. I can hear the beagle. He's out in the moonlight. He's been crazy the past couple of days. I'm going to get some dinner. You're welcome, Noelle. Thank you for coming. I'm going to have some dinner. I'm going to just snug down with my tea and, you know, enjoy the rest of the weekend. That's why I wanted to do this tonight, because now I've got the entire weekend to myself. Well, what? Thank you all for being here, and I will see you next week. I will be doing a Tarot Tuesday live on Tuesday. I'm pretty sure I am. So stay tuned. Come back. It'll be probably 7 o'clock on Facebook, Eastern Standard Time. 7:30 or 8 o'clock on Instagram, Eastern Standard Time. Good night.